Got a pretty simple job that I got to knock out for my friend Joe down at the welding shop. He's got these two shafts right here that has these plates, these steel plates welded on the shaft. This is a factory-made deal. He's installing these new ends in this. It's a big like chipper grinder type deal, and they had to remove the ends because they were wore out, and he's putting the new ones in. But the OD of these have to be machined to fit inside that. So what he done, he asked me if he could borrow an inside mic, and so he could reach in there and get a good measurement. So I let him borrow my inside mic. He got a good reading, and then subtracted a few thousandths, and he wants them turned to 5.970, and that should give him 2 to 3 thousandths clearance to slip them up in those inside the ends of this big housing there and weld it in. So pretty simple job. The shafts have a little bit of surface rust on there, so I'll probably polish this first, get those cleaned up, and then chuck them there, and we'll go ahead and get these 4 flanges turned to size. Just some old wore out emery paper. Work good for getting that little bit of surface rust off of them. And for those concerned about the dust and everything getting on the ways, this is all you do. When you get done doing your polishing, just wipe them off. And I'm not cranking the carriage down over that dust or anything. Just like that. I'll flip them around, and we're going to chuck them probably right here. And then there's a center on this end too. So we want to make sure they're turned true with this area, not down here. This is just the, you know, the raw shafting OD right there. So they should be running true with this. Actually, I need to leave it out. I want to double check it and make sure that it is running nice and true. So I got enough area there that I can put my indicator on. All right, we got 0.5 thousandths run out right there, so we are good. Running nice and true. Chuck always does a good job. Just put our center in there. All right, we're ready to turn. Let's see what she looks like. Yep. All right, we're ready to start turning. All right, so our sizing that we want, I'll just write it right here, 5.970. I've got my 5 to 6 sterret here. We'll go ahead and get a measurement. And they've got it 1 thousandths under 6 inches. All right, so we got 29 thousandths to come off of that. Let's see what this side, if it's the same. Same thing, 1 under. Let's go ahead and make a cut. I'm going to see if this insert will work. I was using that for the aluminum. Putting out a stringy chip, probably too much rake in that insert there, but I think we're going to just roll with it. we'll see what we did here. I just touched off and took 10. 91. And that's 91 and a half. All right, we'll just keep rolling with it. I went ahead and switched my insert. I'm going to see if this other one does better here. Yeah, it's making a little tighter chip. That's the ISCAR insert I always like using. It's a CNMG 431, but the insert is an IC 8250. All right, I should have one more cut to make. I'll just split it into threes here. $981, so we've got 11 thousandths to bring it down. That one's still about a half dial over on that one right there. Let's just check my sizing here, see what we got. That one is half a thousandth under 970. When I came down here to this size, I bumped it in another thousandths to try to make up for that. And we're just a shade under 970, about 2 or 3 tenths under. So we're good to go there. We just need to take this tool out, chamfer it. I've got my other MCHNN tool holder. We'll use the chamfer all of them. Should be good to go. Just verifying all the edges are soft there. There's no rolled up edge from that tool. Ready to roll on this one. All right, just got to take this one out, put the other one in, and repeat it. Do the same thing. Got us a pretty light duty project to do. This is for one of my local customers, and just a real simple job. Got a bushing job here. So he's got this bearing that needs to go onto a machine. I believe he said it's for a wood shaper. This is a spindle out of that wood shaper here, and this is the replacement bearing that he's using that needs to fit this spindle right there, slide over these threads. So he brought it to me so I could measure this. He said it needs to be a slip fit, so this piece right there, it kind of needs to fit just like that. All right, so pretty simple job. This was, I believe it was 45 millimeter on the ID. Yeah, so 45 millimeter ID, and then the shank here on this is a 1 inch, so this is around 25.4 millimeter right now, but it's 1 inch. Yeah. And then let's see how thick it is there. So we're looking at 16 millimeters wide. So that's what we got to do, just make a simple bushing. I got this piece of stock right here. I believe this is some 4140 that I had from another job. 2 inch on the OD, so it'd be some good material that I can use. We'll go down the lathe, chuck it up, do our drilling, boring, turning, part it off, and then we'll press it into the bearing here. I'm going to use a 15/16 taper shank drill bit. All right, we got 30 thousandths to come out of that hole there. We're going to be finished this OD at 1.772 and a half. That'll give us about a half a thousandths press fit down in there. That should give me about 30 thousandths to clean it up to size. I'm going to let it cool down for just a few minutes. Shouldn't be that hot, but it's warm. But I'll be back once it's cool. Should just be a couple finish cuts here and we'll be on our size. I'll let it cool down. Nice and cool to the touch now. Let's see if the Victor will handle it today. I always like to face the back side of these parts that I part off to make them look good and bring them right to size. So, you know, we'll put it back in here in the 3-jaw, but to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to put my Edge Technology chuck parallels in there. These are 1 5/8, and that'll be a good height to have me a little bit of stick out here. So just put them up in here like so. You got magnets to stick it to the face of the chuck. I already got everything cleaned off there. Just put the workpiece in there and just push it up against the parallels. It should be nice and square now to the face of the chuck. Okay, that's where we wanted to be. All right, there's our bushing. So let's make sure that it fits like it's supposed to. And it feels like it's a little tighter than I wanted it. Feels like it's on those threads there. I might have to polish this thing a little bit. Feels like there's some dings on these threads right here. I'm gonna polish this thing out. I might have to take a little bit out of that bore right there, flap it. We'll make it right before I press it in there, because I expected it to draw in about a 1/2 thousandths or so, you know, with the press. So I don't need this tight whenever it goes on there. I hit this with some fine wore out 220, and the bushing is fitting just like it should there now. I think we're going to be good to go now. It just had some little dings and high spots on the thread. Let's use our date press and we'll press it together. And yes, I'm aware that I could put this in the freezer and freeze it and probably just drop it together, but I'm ready to just do it right now. I don't want to wait around. So I just squirted it down with some WD-40. Using a ram to make sure that it's nice and square. Nice and easy. Let me get you in there a little closer. Just like that. Nothing to it. Half a thousandths press fit. All right, this one is finished up. There's our spindle, our newly bushed bearing. It fits just like it's supposed to. That's the fit that he wanted. He said he wanted it to slide on. He didn't want it tight. And of course we didn't want it loose where it flops around either. So that little sleeve goes on there first. And then that bearing goes on, and then a nut. So there we go. A little light duty job done. I'll call them and let them know it's finished up. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. That's one down. We'll go get started on the next job, all right? We come to check out a shaper for Lance that he had made a deal on. So we are working on moving some stuff out of the way to get it out. But let me show you. Here it is back here. It's been hiding back here for a long time. And what you got is, I believe it's a 16-inch G&E shaper. This one is the Norton branded G&E. So I believe it's been sitting in this barn here for approximately 20 years, but it looks to be complete, in good shape. Hopefully it's mechanically sound. Nice looking shaper there. You can see the tag. That's whenever Norton owned G&E. One of the differences with the Norton, this style there, you see the top of the ram is solid. That was one of the things they did to beef it up. So anyway, we're going to work on getting it out of this barn here.
Only thing I don't like, you're kind of catching your deal around a little bit.
That's all right. I don't care if that puts direct up pressure on that. That's all right.
Back up just a little bit, Dave.
Yeah. Let's just have
All right.
Have the back straight up. Hold it half that way. Yep. Perfect. Just pick it up.
Oh, no, don't back up.
Stop.
I'm forward.
That's good.
Come on. All right. We need to get it over this aluminum. Let's get it to pick up.
Yeah.
Pick up just a little bit, Dave.
Pick up. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Stop. Have him drop straight down.
Go straight down.
On the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You've already done what you needed to.
All right, what if we just get it to turn? If you don't mind, see what happens.
Well, at this point, I think we can get it. I mean, at this point, I think we can chain it.
Okay. Just a little bit. All right, curl just a little bit. All right, it's yours.
It's all yours. Yeah.
You got it. Oh, now don't go too high.
It's gonna back up, it's gonna drop some.
Yeah. Can he get to your vehicle?
I'm gonna back my trailer up right now.
Okay. I tell you what, Lance.
Yeah. But if I back it straight up, he can just set it right on.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna back up and go around.
You need some blocks to put on.
Yeah, I'll bring some blocks
You
around.
go up to this end of the truck.
I don't have enough 4x4.
Take it easy. How about this 6x6? It's fine. 6x6 is okay. All right, curl your bucket. Curl your forks. All right, ease out. All right.
Touchdown.
Alright, you want to back up a little further for that other
Yeah, I would say so.
Lance has been getting the two machines finished, strapped down for the ride back home, and I wanted to take the opportunity to come and show you some of John's his machines that he's been kind of collecting and just kind of storing. We're in his warehouse. This is one of his warehouses. He is in the wood business. He is a buyer and seller and distributor of exotic woods. This is a lot of exotics all the way down to the other side. But oh, look at these over here. He's got all these slabs also for that you could make live edge tables out of. It's really cool. I want to get a hold of one of these days and actually build a live edge table for our hopefully future house anyway. So anyway, what I wanted to show you was his nice little collection of machines that he's got in here. Some stuff that he has been picking up at the auctions. He's got 3 of these big pedestal grinders. I believe they're 12-inch standard electric company pedestal grinders. Of course, lots of material. This was one that he recently got here. This is a big Cincinnati milling machine. It's both horizontal and vertical. This one being the the vertical head there has its own motor to drive it. But this is a big boy. This is K&T made them like this as well. James Kilroy's got one similar in size to this right here. This looks like a spot welder. And then we'll come around to this side. Looks like another tool grinder right here. It's a Cincinnati. And then he's got 2 beautiful Barber Coleman gear hops. That is really nice. Another one over here. This is one of the bigger one of the bigger models. I don't know what model it is, but beautiful machine. Just looks like it's been well taken care of, clean. Very nice machine right there. Let's come back around this way. Here's another surface grinder. This one being a Thompson surface grinder. Got another tool and cutter grinder right there. That one is a KO Lee. He's got a, this is a brand new surface plate under this crate right here that he got. And then, really sweet machine right here. This is a Mori Slaughter. So this would be considered a vertical shaper. So that's your shaping head up there that reciprocates up and down. Put your tool there, of course, and then you've got a table that's built like a rotary table, but with XY axis like a milling machine. So you can use this machine to cut internal shapes such as a keyway or any kind of internal shape that you would ever need to cut. I don't know what the stroke is offhand. I'm going to say maybe 12. Let me see if I can. That doesn't say up there, but probably somewhere between 8 and 12 inch stroke on this machine. Pretty cool. So that's some of his collection. He invited me to come in and share it. He knows I like to do videos. Look at these bandsaw blades right here. They've got a wood shop. There's another. This is a big like industrial complex that he owns, and he's got other businesses in here that lease his buildings. So there's on the other side of that wall, there's another long building where they actually have a wood shop in there. But like this stuff right here, I'm not sure what that is. But he came through here the other day and was telling me, you know, what wood is what. He's got a bunch of cedar in there as well. Pretty cool.